AM 650 KGAB, you're in tune with the Weekend in Wyoming program. Doug Randal with you. On the phone I have Laramie County Commission candidate Will Luna. And Will, and this is something I've been asking everybody running this year, some tough decisions are faced by all levels of office holders funding-wise. We don't know how long the funding challenges will last or how severe they will be. But what do you think the priorities should be in terms of funding county programs? And do you think of any, or can you think of any cuts that might be made?
You know, you're correct with that. It's going to be a very tough financial year across the board, and that's going to trickle down from states to counties to cities. You know, I never want to use the word cuts. That's always a tough one. But it's just going to be tough, and really going to have to pinch pennies and try to figure out, you know, where we can get the most out of the resources that we do have available. You know, we do have some programs within the county that hopefully can kind of get back up and running to help generate some of that revenue. The event center at Archer is going to be one of those possibilities. Once COVID restrictions start lifting and we can start bringing in some different events, that's going to help ease some of that budget. You know, but it's not going to be a savior. So it's really just trying to get down to the brass tacks, looking at the budget, finding out where we can really tighten screws and lock down some things. You know, and try not to make those tough decisions of cuts. Obviously, that might have to happen. But nobody ever wants to be that person. It's just the nature of the beast at this point.
If cuts do have to be made, would you be someone who would favor more across-the-board cuts, like, say, 5% off the top of everything? Or would you be more in favor of looking at what programs maybe could take deeper cuts and maybe some other programs that you just can't cut?
Yeah, you're definitely going to have your priority essential. We have to have those. So those ones have to receive some funding. And then I think you just look at go program by program and where can each person pitch in and each department pitch in to maybe save a little bit more.
Are there any ways you could raise revenues somewhat, like user fees or anything like that, or do you not favor that?
I wouldn't favor it. Like I said, I think we've got some programs in place. Right now, like I said, the event center at Archer is going to be a huge asset once restrictions lift to try to get some events and generate some revenue there. But I really wouldn't want to start adding on additional fees to things that we already provide.
Okay, I'm speaking with Laramie County Commission candidate Will Luna. By the way, we do have an open phone line if you have any questions or comments. 632-3323. Will Luna running as a Republican for the Laramie County Commission. You know, when we're talking about Cheyenne and Laramie County, the subject of roads always comes up. In Cheyenne, of course, potholes and rural roads. You know, there's some challenges there, too. What are your thoughts on that?
There are. So, obviously, in the city, the city maintains and handles those roads. The state of Wyoming has more roads that are owned by counties than any federal, state, or city municipality. So obviously, road maintenance is going to be a big one. We, working our best to try to get out and maintain those roads and make sure that they're drivable. Winter conditions in Laramie County can also be kind of treacherous at times, and something I've had quite a few conversations on is the county kind of blocking some driveways in, and we're plowing snow. So, how can we make the best of both and try to help those people out and not block their driveways while getting the roads cleared for easy access? So, critical component there to the county. It's one of the top priorities there for everybody. So.
Will, when people go to vote in the primary election on, I believe it's August 14th, if I have my memory correct, and they're looking at the county commission and there's a bunch of Republican candidates, what would you like them to think about when they think about whether they should vote for you? What sets you apart from the other candidates?
Yeah, definitely. You've got 2 open seats and quite a few people running this year, which was a little unexpected, but I think one thing that sets me apart is that, I'm committed and passionate to Laramie County. Like I said, I've been here my entire life. I worked 3 years for the Travel and Hospitality and Tourism Board, and then the last 2 years I worked for the Laramie County Events Department. So I really do want to see Laramie County grow and prosper for everybody. I'm going to bring in some fresh ideas, a new face, and once again, just kind of an openness to this position where people can come and talk to me. And if you have concerns or questions, I'm going to be here to listen. I'm not going to say that I can always make what you want happen, but I'm definitely going to listen. I'm going to take that back to the commission. We're going to discuss that, and right or wrong, whether the vote goes your way or not, at least you'll understand why I voted the way I did, and we'll go with that.
Now, you mentioned transparency is one of your big issues. Give us some examples of maybe where the commission hasn't been as transparent as you'd like and what you'd like to change.
Yeah, for sure. First-hand experience, some things happened with the Laramie County Fair Board that I feel like just didn't happen openly. It seemed like they were kind of a hasty decision. They were done covertly. I'd like to see some of those decisions come to light. We need to let the voters know what's taking place in their communities. We need to let them, have full access to, hey, here's why decisions are being made. Here's the way the vote played out. And this is the reasoning behind those decisions.
Do you think commissioners should be on the Fair Board?
Personally, I think it's a conflict of interest. You are here to run the county, and basically the Fair Board represents a money portion of that. I don't believe that they should be.
Will, what do you see as the biggest single issue facing Laramie County going forward? What's the number one challenge?
Number one challenge I feel like is going to be some growth and development. Obviously, we've had some positive growth here in Laramie County, being kind of on the cusp of the Front Range area, but I'd like to see a lot more growth. My biggest thing is when we're looking at growth and development in terms of businesses coming in, like I said, I want the right businesses to come in. People who want to make our community a better place, they want to buy into our traditional values, and they're not here to change the culture of Laramie County.
How would you feel about countywide zoning? Do you think that the county needs to be zoned across the county or not?
I don't believe so. Current zoning practices seem like they're working and they're sufficient.
Okay, I'm speaking with Laramie County Commission candidate Will Luna, Republican running for the Laramie County Commission. Will, it's a different political year. You can't really go out and go door to door and do the normal campaign things that you would probably do in a normal election year. 2020 is anything but a normal year, and that certainly has affected how people campaign too. How are you running a political campaign in this environment? What are you doing?
Yeah, definitely, it's a challenge. One of the things that's really been advantageous for me is social media presence. I do have a page, Facebook page. It's Elect Will Luna, Laramie County Commissioner, and people can reach out to me there. So that's been a positive. Just trying to get out, put my message out there through text and videos, and letting people know. Also, just using that platform and an avenue to get yard signs out and an opportunity to connect with people. It's been great. I had a great opportunity to do an interview with KGAB TV5, and that was a Zoom interview. So awesome opportunity to use the technology that's available to us today to try to reach a larger audience. Obviously, some traditional things, like I said, yard signs and signs around the community have been great, but it's been a challenge, and it's been a little bit different. Obviously, they were talking about, you had the caller call in about the event that's happening downtown in Cheyenne. So an awesome opportunity to go and at least get out and see some people that way. We'll be doing the cruise night tonight downtown Cheyenne. So I'll be out doing that with some car magnets on my car. And then just, with Albin Days getting canceled, that's going to pose an issue. Pine Bluffs Trail Days is still going to happen. They've cut that down from 5 days to 3 days, but there's still some traditional opportunities out there to go and connect with people. Also going to do some social distancing. We're hosting a Pints and Politics June 8th at Blacktooth Brewing in Cheyenne. So you can come out and meet myself and Cameron Kanjaris. He is running for city council here in Cheyenne, so an opportunity just to connect that way as well.
You mentioned the Cheyenne City Council. What's your philosophy on working with the City Council on some of the decisions around Cheyenne that might be out in the county? Do you feel that there's a problem right now, or what?
No, I feel like the council and the commission are getting along fairly well. Obviously, there are pockets of the county that are within city limits, But I think anytime you can have that crossover and you can work together on projects, it's going to be better for the whole. Obviously, we're going to represent everybody within the county, and the city of Cheyenne is in the county. So, we want to hear some of their concerns too, and how can we relay that information to the city council.
Now, as I'm sure you probably know, there have been some subdivisions around Cheyenne with some drainage issues, one in particular. It's a thorny issue. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I had a few phone calls, and I've got a few more to make. I think, once again, we've got to listen to those concerns. We've got to listen to the people that are kind of getting flooded out, and see what we can try to help them with in the long run, and hear their concerns. And once again, like I said, just being open and, hey, let's listen. Let's see what we can try to do to come up with a solution. It might not be in their favor, but at least we're going to listen and give them that opportunity to have their voice heard.
Will, I have about 45 seconds left. I've been asking you questions. Is there anything you'd like to say to our audience that we haven't talked about this morning?
Nothing that I can think of. I just really appreciate the opportunity to come on today. I appreciate everybody's hospitality that since I've announced my campaign, I've had some pretty positive responses, and some people that maybe are not so positive, but that's their right, and I appreciate that. I just want to thank the voters of Laramie County. Whether you vote for me or whoever, please just do your research, get out, vet your candidates, find out what they're about, and then make sure that you head to the polls and vote. The absentee ballots are going out now, so you can vote that way as well. But it's important that we get out and express our rights, and please vote.
Thanks, Will.